And this brief tutorial video is going to show you some of the nuts and bolts of how to use track changes in Microsoft Word. For this example, I've pulled up some writing prompt we've had sometime this semester as a representative document, but when you are doing this for your assignment, you'll be pulling up one of your previous submitted drafts. So people generally start Microsoft Word on the home screen with the font type and the size. What I'd like you to do is find the review panel and click on that button. It should take you to something that looks similar to this. I'm working on a Mac right now. Your PC should be maybe a little bit different, but it should have the same parts. You'll see a button here in the middle called Track Changes, and right now it's off. I'd like you to, when tracking changes and making edits to a document, turn that on. So now what that means is any change I make on this document is going to be recorded. So let's say, for example, I want to delete the word assignment. If I highlight it and delete it, aside from it going away, which would happen in a normal document, you'll see a couple things. One, there'll be a line here on the left. That line tells the reader or the editor that a change has been made here. A word is easy. For example, maybe I delete an extra space or remove a comma and turn it into a period. That may be a little bit harder to tell. This line tells me a change has been made. Then there's a line over here to the from the point of change all the way to the right margin, where there is a note about who made the change. So in this case, my computer's name is Robert L. Hirsch, so you know it's from me. And then I deleted the word assignment. It happened a few seconds ago. Let's say I wanted to use or to change the word or to add rather in other ABT classes that you have taken. In this case, when I've added words, it comes in as a different color that is underlined. The color and underlining can be changed easily, but is there so that the reviewer knows a change has been made at that location. And also, you'll notice a new line here on the left showing the reader and editor that a change has been made. So for this assignment, what I'd like you to do is make all of the changes that the TA and I suggested in your document. And it should end up looking with lots of marginal comments here, lots of deletions, and lots of this underlined colored text. At that point, once you've completed your document, I want you to save and maybe give it a new name, maybe edit, re-edit, or today's date, or something like that, so I can separate your edited draft from your original draft, and then send that to me. So that way, when I'm looking at the original version that I could see in Canvas, I can compare it to your draft that has tracked changes. And it makes it really easy for the reviewer to see what has changed. Now, that concludes what's going to be expected from you guys for this assignment. But I wanted to add a little note here about something that's really important when you're working with a draft that has track changes. It's really important when you are done with a document and all of your changes are made and everything is in good shape, that you accept all the changes and stop tracking changes. That's because if you end up sending a document that is under active track changes and you haven't gone through and accepted edits, what you end up doing is providing the reader, or whoever you sent that document to, with the entire process of all the edits you had put into your document. And where that goes bad is oftentimes people, when they're writing drafts back and forth, the first drafts aren't very good, which we've encountered a lot this semester. But you never want to show that bad first draft to someone in a lot of circumstances. And if you don't accept all the changes, then whoever you send your document to will see the crappy first drafts, the rough second drafts, and every draft in between. So in order to get round of that, say we're done editing, and this is just for your own personal information, you guys want to turn off track changes and go to this button up here where it says accept or reject. If you are happy with the way that all of the changes in this document are, you will go to this accept tab, click on this down arrow, and then click this button, accept all changes and stop tracking. What that does is consolidates all of the changes, makes them permanent into the document, removes any trace of the editorial process, and then you have a polished version to send to the people up the chain. So again, that last little part was just for your own information. Please do send me, in this case, the draft with the track changes so I can see exactly what changes you made. And I hope that this brief example of a little part of the functionality of the track changes function in Microsoft Word will help you throughout your career as you start writing at higher tiers of professionalism.